it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So today I wanted to take a brief moment to discuss something with you that happened to me personally, and I want to help you to avoid this as well. So most recently my computer was hacked, you guys, and someone was able to access one of my bank accounts and also my Etsy account, where they charged over $300. Now you guys, that was extremely scary. I was paranoid. I felt vulnerable as my entire life is on the internet. Most recently, a company had reached out to me called Atlas VPN. Now what is a VPN? A VPN stands for a virtual private network, meaning they help to protect you online. They help you with data breaches against hackers, malware. It's an added protection for you and your family while you're surfing the web. So not only does Atlas VPN protect your data online, it also gives you access to mask your IP address and to surf the web globally. They have over 49 locations and thousands of servers. If you want to access Netflix in the UK or France, you simply log into your Atlas VPN account and you change your location. It is as simple as that. Right now, you guys, is the best time to purchase Atlas VPN. They're offering huge summer savings, up to 85% off. You can get Atlas VPN for as little as $1.83 a month, and they also offer a full 30-day money-back guarantee. Everything will be linked for you down below. This is the best time to give yourself some extra online protection. Join Atlas VPN and take advantage of those huge summer savings, as they are not going to last. But I really do hope that you guys will try Atlas VPN and provide some extra security for your family online. Hi everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. We have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So are Harry and Meghan caught up in their smoke and mirrors and mirage of a marriage? In my opinion, their entire relationship and marriage has been nothing but smoke and mirrors. In my opinion, they are now going through the phase of conscious uncoupling, where they're basically married for show, that they have a lot of toxic traits behind the scenes and things are not as rosy as they appear. Everything about Harry and Meghan always has a question mark. It's like life and love shouldn't be complicated, but even the most simplest thing with Harry and Meghan, it's always a question. It's always complicated. It's always a song and a dance. There's always a mirage and smoke and mirrors. The sky is never blue and the grass is never green. 1 and 1 do not equal 2. With Catherine and William, you get what you see. They put it out there. There's no mystery. There's no question. Granted, every single person, when you're in public, you put on a show. You're the happy family, happy marriage. You don't tell people how you screamed at your husband or your kids in the car and you had an argument because he got lost on the way to the event. You walk in there, you put on your Sunday best, you put on a smile for the public, for family, for appearances. But with Harry and Meghan, it is like that 24/7. At least with William and Catherine, we see their 3 kids. There's no smoke and mirrors there. They share their kids with you. We saw when they were born. We saw when they were dating. We saw when they were married. We see them out and about at events. It's not forced. It's not contrite. It's not overly PDA. They look like they have a very good rapport. They have a good foundation. They have a good history. Same thing with Charles and Camilla. They've been together over 30 years. You can tell when they're together. They like each other. They have good body language. They look like they're friends. No one is perfect, but when you look at Harry and Meghan, it's awkward. Meghan is always pushing herself in front of Harry, or she's clinging to him with the lobster claw. He looks awkward. He's always fumbling around Meghan. He doesn't know what to do with himself. And on quite a few occasions, he looked like he was walking on eggshells around his wife, Meghan Markle. How many video clips of Meghan have we seen where she's given him the death stare and her jaw looks like thunder, like she could crack a walnut with her jaw? She gets a little scary, in my opinion, okay? Can you just imagine what she does to him behind closed doors? She's scary. Have you seen her stare at people during interviews when she's not happy and her mask slips? That's scary to watch someone in a matter of seconds transform from the fake plastered smile to Cruella de Vil. She lets that mask slip like she doesn't think we notice, but we notice. There are whole videos dedicated to Meghan Markle's mask slipping, and it's quite frightening to see. So Meghan Markle definitely lets you know with her face, that fake smile that drops, the mask drop, the lobster claw that she uses to control and manipulate her husband. She wants everyone to believe, I'm so shy, I'm so scared, I need to hold on to Harry, I'm like his mom, shy die. But that's actually manipulation. It's a tactic. Like she's trying to hold on to Harry to make sure he knows I'm still here and I'm in control. And when she wants to be jetted forward, she pushes him and she pushes herself forward. And we've seen that time and time again. You have never seen Catherine ever manhandle William. You've never seen Camilla manhandle Charles. You never saw Diana manhandle Charles. You know why? Because they have respect. They know royal protocol. They don't try to manhandle their man, certainly not in public. But Meghan Markle has absolutely no class and she has no manners. She doesn't know that her true narcissistic controlling mask has slipped, and we all can see the real nature of Meghan Markle. Now, ever since Harry and Meghan started dating, the question marks started popping up. The facade started way before the engagement. There's always been a lot of smoke and mirrors when it concerns Harry and Meghan, and 5 years later into their marriage, with their 2 children, it's gotten 100 times worse, where people are questioning the legitimacy of photographs, especially with their children. Now look, I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm like, they're not body doubles. I don't believe it's photoshopped, yada, yada, yada. However, I can't tell you 100% that that's true, because everything with Harry and Meghan is just weird. Nothing makes sense. Their children, Lily was super tall when she was younger. Now she looks like she's shrunk. The photographs are grainy. Like, we're living in 2023, so for 4th of July, you're trying to tell me someone couldn't take a clear photograph of the couple out on 4th of July? And what is with the 4th of July? It's bizarre how last year we got a photograph of the happy family out on 4th of July, and would you know it, this year, once again, they're out on 4th of July. Like, is that the only time the children are allowed to go outside, is the 4th of July? Because that is when Harry and Meghan supposedly had their first date, was the 4th of July. So that's like a special family ritual that y'all get to go outside together and get papped for the 4th of July, but then you have to go run around and hide inside afterwards. Again, everything with them is just bizarre. And I don't believe for one moment that they are happily married. In my opinion, they are consciously uncoupling, but they are staying together for public appearances for the sake of the children and for their business. Harry, in my opinion, went to bed with one person and woke up with another. It's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Have you ever dated someone I can tell you this 100% for fact. I dated someone for 6 months who was the perfect boyfriend. Perfect. I got flowers on Valentine's Day. He brought me a puppy. He was the most sweetest, thoughtful boyfriend. I woke up the next morning to a person I did not know. He completely switched to another personality. And the whole time we were together, I kept hoping that the person I fell in love with would pop up, and he would do it occasionally, and then he would go back to this new person that I did not like. And that is how narcissists get people. They get them all loved up, they get them addicted, they get them in love with this person who doesn't exist. And then one day, boom, the real person shows up, and they're so attached and in love with this person that they stick around and put up with their crap because they keep hoping the person I fell in love with, the woman who liked to take a crap in the woods, the girl who wanted to go to Africa and who used to wear those cheap little bracelets, she's in there. She's in there somewhere. The girl who wanted to cook me roasted chicken and walked around barefoot in my house, who told me she was fine living and not caught, she's in there somewhere. Meghan, where are you? Can you hear me? So poor little Harry is thinking that that fake version of Meghan Markle that she created to snare a rich UK husband is somewhere in there. But she doesn't exist because Meghan Markle is an actress and a narcissist. Her best acting, y'all, is not on the screen. Her best acting is in real life trying to convince people she's a nice person, because she's not. She's a narcissist. They put on many faces for many people when it's convenient and benefits them. So poor little Harry is lost with a narcissist and a person who doesn't exist. And I think he's finally realizing that 5 years on, that he's with someone who wasn't the person he fell in love with, according to my opinion, because I've been there and I've done that. Meghan Markle, in my opinion, did a switcheroo on him once she had snared Harry. And I'm going to go back to the very beginning and tell you all the smoke and mirrors that this woman did to snare Prince Harry and why he is now stuck in the predicament that he is in currently. So let's go back to the beginning of their relationship and how the smoke and mirrors started with Meghan Markle's manipulation of Prince Harry. Now, back when Harry met Meghan, he, in my opinion, was at a very low point in his life. He was 32 years old. He was a bachelor. He was the third wheel in his relationship with William and Catherine. He was jealous of William's relationship with Catherine. He grew up the spare, always in the background of his brother, very, very jealous of William. But even though he was very jealous and always felt he was a little bit slighted and had a hatred of the media because of the harassment that they did to his mom, he still loved his family. I believe he was still happy within the royal life because that is the only life he has ever known. He even said on previous interviews he was ready to step up and support his father and then his brother when they become king. He talked about how his grandmother told him, as royals, they live a life of service, and he was very much in that mindset of being a working royal. The problem is, in my opinion, Harry wasn't unhappy with his life within the royal family. He was unhappy with himself. He was a bachelor living and not caught, watching them grow and flourish, get married and have 2 children, and now Harry was the odd man out. He no longer had Chelsea. He no longer had Cressida. He was sitting there playing Xbox till 3 in the morning, smoking a doobie in his underwear. He wasn't going anywhere. He was living in Notcott, waiting for his daddy to tell him what to do and where to go. His dad paid all his bills. The man hadn't done anything. He was literally an overaged teenager, a man-child, going through the motions. He was looking for somebody to bring into the royal fold to join him, like Camilla was to his father, like Kate was to his brother. There's even an old interview clip where they were making fun of him because he had his singleton photo sitting next to William and Catherine. He's like, well, one day maybe I'll replace that with a photo with me and my wife. Yeah, he had no intention of leaving the royal family. Now, in my opinion, there were two life paths that Harry was interested in. Either A, he was looking for the right life partner, kind of a Kate Middleton 2.0, to marry into the royal family, someone to help him manage his everyday life, someone to be a life partner within the royal family. The second option would have been to leave the royal family, go live in Africa with somebody who wanted to do charity work and live a private life. Those were his two options that he wanted to do. Nowhere in it did he say, I want to go to Hollywood and do a Netflix series and write a book, y'all, trashing my family. That was not on his radar. So when he met Meghan Markle, he was desperate. He was at a low point in his life. He was ready to settle down. And here comes Meghan, or like they say, along came a spider. Meghan Markle, a worldly woman who had been around the block or two, was desperately looking for a rich UK husband, and boom, here comes Prince Harry. Now the whole meet cute story, again, question mark, smoke and mirrors. We can't even get the meet cute story correct. It has changed several times. So after Harry and Meghan started dating, she starts chipping away at his bad points. She picks up on his vulnerabilities because that is what a narcissist does. Meghan Markle was the answer to Prince Harry's prayers. He fell in love with a woman who he thought personified his mom, Princess Diana, and she played the Diana card, as we all know. She became Prince Harry's security blanket. He became super happy and obsessed with Meghan Markle, so much so that Tom Bower even said Harry was afraid of losing Meghan, and that is how she got him. She started to manipulate Harry with the paranoia that he already had, with his self-confidence being low, with him always feeling like he's less than his brother. She started playing upon that paranoia and the insecurities. So then she started to personify his mother, where he was put into the role as the Lord Protector of his mom. He couldn't save his mom, but he was going to save Meghan. Then she started creating the false narrative that she was in danger, and he had to make public announcements of their relationship or she was going to walk. And he was afraid of losing her. That's when the manipulation started and the fallout with his family started, because the red flags were popping off with his brother, with the queen. Why are you making these announcements over an actress you've barely been dating for a couple of months? What are you doing, Harry? What are you doing, Harold? But Harry was so enamored with Meghan Markle, she started convincing Harry that people were just jealous of their love, jealous of their happiness. And then he became angry and bitter. How dare you? How dare you try to ruin my happiness? How dare you be rude to Meghan? She's just having a hard time. And then people started saying she was difficult, but it didn't matter because Harry was now her flying monkey, and he was going to defend his woman to the death. And then, of course, she brings in the old arch nemesis of the press. So now you have a man who has all of his rage, all of his insecurities, and his arch nemesis are reared to the front, and Meghan is just sitting there pushing the buttons and enjoying it. She is manipulating all of his vulnerabilities, and now he has become 100% dependent on Meghan Markle. Then we had her wedding, which was another question. Will her father walk her down the aisle? Won't he walk her down the aisle? What's going on with Meghan's past? Why did she only have one family member? Again, questions, questions, questions. Nothing ever adds up. Then we had the birth of Archie. Again, questions, questions. Nothing adds up. Everything with Harry and Meghan, orchestrated by Meghan, is smoke and mirrors. I believe if he would have married anyone else besides Meghan, none of this would have happened. So then she decides it's time to leave. But she's got to kick the baby out the nest. So she makes the nest very uncomfortable. He's already starting to lose relationships with his friends. The press, he's now decided, is their number one arch nemesis. Again, she's created the narrative that she wants to hurt herself. She's unhappy. She's convinced him she is his mom and that history is repeating itself and he has to save Meghan. And Meghan is going to leave because she's unhappy. So he can't have that. So she convinces him, we can leave, we can do Megxit, we can be half in and half out with the royal family. Because if you remember, during Megxit, they believed they were going to be half in and half out. They were still going to work as royals, serve the Commonwealth. He was going to do his patronages. But the Queen said, you can't be half in and half out. Remember that? You can't be half in and half out. So when Harry and Meghan fled the nest on that freedom flight and he was smiling, looking like a complete goofball, he reminded me of a rebellious teenager running away with the person he's not supposed to be with, and he's sticking it to his parents, saying, look at me, I'm free. But he hadn't thought it through. So as they left on that freedom flight, in my opinion, Harry had no clue what was awaiting him, and he certainly had no idea that Meghan Markle was going to annihilate his entire life. That as they were on that freedom flight, she had burned all his bridges. He had no more friends, his family was at a standstill, and pretty soon he would lose his country and more. So as they went off to America, he still was under the impression they were going to be half in and half out. But when they found out the Queen said no, you know, the baby fled the nest and the Queen came and she knocked it down. And she's like, good luck to you, son. You're not coming back. And when they sat down for the Oprah Winfrey interview, you could see the anger in Harry's face. He was pissed because the Queen called his bluff. They were mad because they thought they were the most important royals in the royal family, and the royal family would be so desperate to keep them because they had Diana magic. But when the royal family said, well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, we wish you the best of luck, they were shocked. And then when the Queen said, oh, by the way, we're taking away your security, we're taking away your money, we're taking away your patronages and your military titles, but we wish you well in America. Oh, and Archie's not going to be a prince. They were pissed because they had all these weird demands, right? But when the Queen called their bluff, they were stunned. Yeah, they were stunned. So now they signed with Netflix and with Spotify, and they got a little too big for their britches, and they thought their poop didn't stink, and it basically went to their head. And they were real happy in the very beginning because things were going great for them. But then everything fell apart. Their deals started to dry up. Spotify canceled them. People are starting to come out and say they're lazy grifters. People are not liking them. Then he wrote the book Spare. Then he did the docu-series. And now he's facing the repercussions of all of the negativity and the backlash. Now you have a man who has no family, no friends, no home. Frogmore Cottage is gone. Lost all of his royal patronages, his reputation. Now his money is starting to dry up. All the deals are going dunzo. Things aren't looking too rosy anymore. He went to bed with Snow White and woke up with Cruella de Vil. Harry never wanted to be a celebrity. That was never on his radar. That was Meghan Markle's plan. So now you have a man who is a fish out of water, who is miserable, living his wife's dream. So when I say they are consciously uncoupling, word has come out that they are now doing separate careers. We have the rumors of her not wearing her wedding ring, rumors of Harry staying in hotels, and all of those weird PDA fake paparazzi photographs, which quite frankly, some of them look photoshopped. I'm not going to say they are or they aren't, but I'm not going to say 100% that they're real. Because with Harry and Meghan, nothing ever is what it appears to be. In my opinion, they are married on paper and for the kids, as well as for their business purposes. This is not a happy marriage, in my opinion, but he's stuck. When you're married to a narcissist or dating a narcissist, they make it where it's almost impossible for you to leave. Like I said, when they were on the Freedom flight, she had annihilated his entire past. He no longer has a relationship with his family, his friends. People of the UK no longer like him. He has problems now with the Heritage Foundation coming after his visa situation. We don't know what his visa situation in America is. He doesn't have a green card. So if he was to divorce Meghan Markle, where the hell is he going to go? And then we have the problem with the kids. So Meghan Markle has designed it perfectly where it's better for him to stay in a sham of a marriage so he could be around his kids. And everything is for public consumption. Everything is for public display. Right now they're having severe money problems. All of their deals are starting to fall apart. Spotify fell apart. Netflix isn't going super great, holding on by a thread. They still have a couple of books with Penguin Random House, but are they going to come out with Spare 2.0? We don't know. Their reputation in Hollywood is now tarnished. People are making fun of them. They are global laughing stocks, and they're pissing through his money and inheritance. So you're trying to tell me that's a happy marriage? I don't think so, because I can guarantee you when Harry was on that Freedom flight, he had no clue what his life was going to be 3.5 years later. It's not exactly working out for them, in my opinion. I can't imagine how anyone would be happy having lost everything you've ever had in your entire life for your mate. I can't imagine having to sacrifice all of that, because at the end of the day, he still had a loving family who loved him. I don't believe his life was as horrible as he made it out to be, but Meghan Markle convinced him he was miserable. Well, I think he's miserable now. So I believe they have a marriage of convenience. It's on paper. Lady Colin Campbell has said he has sought out divorce attorneys. I do believe there were probably some negotiations behind closed doors. I don't think that Harry can just get up tomorrow and leave her. There's a lot of issues with their businesses, their money, their children. Everything is tied up together. There's also rumors that they don't live in the Montecito mansion anymore, that they're living in San Isidro Ranch, and he's staying at a hotel. I think there's so many weird things going on in this marriage. It cannot be anything but toxic, but I believe Harry is stuck. And they're going to ride it out for a couple more years, and then they're going to separate. Meghan has him by the royal kahunas, and she did that by design. He's stuck. That is my personal opinion. What do you think? Do you think Harry and Meghan are just married on paper, that they're consciously uncoupling, going their separate ways, separate paths in regards to their careers and their living situation, but they're staying together to save face and for the kids? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.